Thanks for joining us on the John Mendola Show. We're driven by McCarthy Tire and Automotive Centers. Let's talk with Ray Black, a Coughlin graduate, University of Pittsburgh, and now with the Augusta Green Jackets. He's in the San Francisco Giants organization. Ray, tell us how you're doing down there in Georgia and how you're feeling right now.
Feeling great, John. Really excited. Been having a good year so far. Just kind of happy to be back in action after having, as a few people know, my arm issues as my career's been going on. But I think I'm healthy. I'm past that, and just excited to really be back out on the mound playing again.
Well, you faced adversity at a young age in high school. Faced some adversity with some surgery, and then you went on to the University of Pittsburgh. That might have been tougher mentally to do that, but I guess you kind of knew that Pitt said yes to you, and you were excited about that. But then there's some more adversity as time has gone on. So you've kind of been through this before, but I'm sure it's challenged you mentally, but probably made you stronger.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, in baseball, for me, my career has always been basically a roller coaster ride. You get a high of high when you hear college scouts calling you excited, committing to Pittsburgh, and then one pitch later, after a bad outing, you realize you're going to need an elbow surgery. When I had Tommy John in high school and missed my entire first year at the University of Pittsburgh, recover from that. Again, a high of high when you get drafted, and then shortly after getting drafted, again, I hurt my shoulder and needed a surgery. Missed 2 full seasons with that, and then kept battling, kept working my way back, and here I am now, able to play again, overcoming a lot of odds. Shoulder surgeries aren't really as successful as elbow surgeries are nowadays, whereas Tommy John has a high percentage of players returning, even 90%. See a lot of professional athletes getting it done. The shoulder has always been more of an issue for guys to recover and get back on the field. So when they initially diagnosed me with the shoulder, they told me that it was going to be a slimmer chance, about a 1 in 3 chance of getting back to seeing game action, at least at my former competitive level. And I was able to battle back, and as of now, I'm pitching better now than I have in my entire life. So the roller coaster ride kind of continues. But as of today, I'm happy. I'm in a great spot. I'm pitching very well, and just excited to see where this year is going to take me.
Talking with Ray Black from the Augusta Green Jackets here on the John Mendola Show, driven by McCarthy Tire and Automotive Centers. Again, a guy out of northeastern Pennsylvania that's had a lot of success on the baseball field, and there's some other guys in northeastern Pennsylvania we'll talk about in the coming weeks that are really doing some great stuff. Ray, tell us about where they're using you there at Augusta, how hard you're throwing, and working on some different pitches, and how you're feeling as far as when you're in the games.
Well, I've been feeling pretty well. My role right now on this team is almost as a setup man, an 8th inning guy, somebody who comes in to basically bridge the gap sometimes from maybe a 7-inning start to our closer in the 9th inning. Trying basically what it's called is getting a hold. Not a lot of people know that with baseball. The starter might go 7 innings, and if the team's winning, let's say we're winning by 3, I'll come in the 8th, essentially hold the game at 3, bridge the gap to our closer, and the closer will come in the 9th inning, close the game, and get what's called a save. Hopefully, as the year goes on, I'd like to get into that closer role. That 9th inning is a little bit more pressure. It's somewhere where I really enjoy and I really thrived. Last night, I actually threw. I came in a tie game. It was 5-5 in the 8th. I was able to hang a 0, so I did pretty well. Bridged the gap to the 9th inning. We ended up losing in extras, but last night did well. Gave up the leadoff hit. I was able to get myself out of it with 2 strikeouts, and I was throwing. Right now, my pitches are my fastball, slider, and I'll throw a cutter every once in a while. My fastball last night was 98 to 102, with my slider being around 90 miles an hour. So if I could continue to work on those pitches throwing for strikes, it's very effective with the velocities. So it's something I just want to work on to continue to improve as a pitcher as this year goes on.
Ray Black throwing hard, 100 miles an hour plus, and doing an effective job down there at Augusta Green Jackets. Ray, how about the process after you're pitching, like a night after pitching? How much do you have to do, whether it's with ice and then the next day? I mean, I'm sure there's a whole process for you to make sure the whole rehab just continues for you.
Yeah, there's a routine, and I knew that as soon as I was getting surgery, especially with the shoulder, that they said my career was going to be a little bit different. And I understood what I was trying to get myself into. So, whereas other guys might show up 30 minutes before stretch to get ready, I might have to show up 1.5 hours before to try to start getting my heat done, getting work on in the training room, a lot of shoulder strengthening, more than most other guys have to do. So the process is it's a little different for me than normal, I guess, player down here. But I knew that I was getting into that with the shoulder once I had the surgeries.
Ray Black talking about his pitching career for Augusta Green Jackets. Ray, you're just about getting close down in your league to the All-Star break. Tell us about how many more games you have on the docket. And I think you said you kind of try to get out. They try to get you out there every 3 or 4 days, right?
Yeah. All-Star break is coming up about 8-9 days from now. We'll have a game today in Augusta, Georgia, and after that we'll go on a 7-game road trip. Now, minor leagues are like the major leagues in the fact that you're playing pretty much every single day. We'll have about 142 games in about 160 days. Actually, less than that, about 150 days. There's not many days off. So, actually, we'll go play today, leave tomorrow morning, and go on a 7-game road trip, and then return back to Augusta before the All-Star break. The role they have me using right now is throwing about every third day. With the velocity spike that I have had since my surgery, coming back throwing harder on a repaired shoulder, they don't want to run me out there too much. They don't want to risk the chance of re-injury. So they're going to give me ample time to recover between my outings. As of today, they're having me pitch about every third day on the dot, whether we're winning by 10, losing by 10, or it's like last night, a tie game, which I prefer to pitch in when it's a little bit closer. As the All-Star break approaches, I've heard some coaches hopefully say that if I'm good up to the break and then after the break, they might give me more responsibility. Maybe that closer role I was talking about to come in the ninth inning, pitch more often and kind of get going. And hopefully I could show the organization that my arm is healthy, that I am healed, and that then maybe I could start working my way up through the organization.
Ray Black talking here on the John Mendola Show, driven by McCarthy Tire and Automotive Centers. Ray, how about the league that you're in and some of the areas that you're traveling to? How far are some of the games, and where are you guys at in the standings right now?
We're currently right at 500 as an overall record. We're, I believe, in third place. There's 7 teams in our division, and the third through fifth place team as of couple days ago when I checked I think we were all within a half a game of each other. So the standings are pretty close. The winner of the first half actually plays the winner of the second half in playoffs, and that's how the minor leagues work. Right now, the team in first place is about 12 games ahead of anyone else in our division, so they're probably going to win the first half with only 7 games remaining. But we'll travel to it's called the South Atlantic League. However, we will travel to other places. I've been up to North Carolina, Delmarva, which I believe is in Delaware, Maryland Peninsula. We travel to Lexington, Kentucky, and the lowest team in our division is Rome Braves, which is 3 hours south of us. We're right on the border of South Carolina, Georgia. And a lot of people don't understand how difficult the travel schedule is, where you'll go from playing a game at 7 o'clock at night at home on a Monday or a Tuesday, finish the game at 10:30, get on the bus at 12 o'clock at night, travel 8 hours to 12 hours to your next game, get at the next hotel around noon noon that next day, and have to wake up at 3 o'clock in the afternoon to play that night. So the travel schedule is pretty difficult. It's something I really had to get used to. We'll get what's called sleeper buses, which are pretty interesting. The beds are actually lined across the entire tops and bottom of the bus, so you can kind of sleep as you go overnight. I mean, it's funny that when you see a group of 30 guys get off a bus from, when Rome, Georgia up to Lexington, Kentucky in one night, and everybody shows up trying to get ready to play. A lot of Red Bulls drinking, a lot of caffeine, a lot of energy drinks, whatever guys can do to really get ready that day to be on the field.
Ray Black telling us about his professional career with the Augusta Green Jackets here on the John Mendola Show, driven by McCarthy Tire and Automotive Centers. Ray, I know you can never look too far ahead, especially in your situation, and as you mentioned, the adversity you've been through, the roller coaster ride, so to speak. Playing-wise, I know you want to make it to the major leagues. That's your goal. Besides that, what are some other things you want to do in your life if you're not playing baseball? Is coaching baseball something you may want to do in your future, or do you have another career option from you take from the University of Pittsburgh?
Well, the University of Pittsburgh State Administrative Justice, which I would enjoy to do. However, I mean, my passion has always been baseball. It's something that I've done my entire life. I've worked effortlessly in the past, multiple years, even in high school, to get to the next level, and it's something I've always pushed myself to do. And I feel like I have received a good amount of knowledge playing the game, being around guys that have played the game, being able to talk to Hall of Fame guys, pitching coaches that have been in the league for multiple years. You pick up on things, you learn things, and it's something that I've always wanted to be able to pass on to kids from our area. When I was growing up, I really didn't have a so-called pitching coach or somebody who was really there. My father always worked with me a lot. He helped me out, always studying the game, always trying to learn more and then teach it to me. But he had never done it himself personally. It's something that I'd really like to try and do to help improve the area. I think there's a lot of talent from the area. In Northeast Pennsylvania, there's guys getting drafted high up, Happy just getting drafted, Waterspoon getting drafted. I was able to play season. I mean, there's so many guys from our area that do make it professionally, and it's something that I'd like to try and help pass on to, maybe start the ball rolling at even a younger age.
Ray Black has a very bright future in baseball, whether it's playing or, as he said, maybe coaching one day. Well, Ray, we're glad, number one, that you're healthy, glad things are going well for you, and we're rooting for you here in northeastern Pennsylvania to continue moving on up in the San Francisco Giants organization and beyond. All right, thank you, Ray.
All right, thanks a lot, John.
Ray Black here on the John Mendola Show, driven by McCarthy Tire and Automotive Centers.